Hello and welcome. My name is Anna Dalman. Happy New Year to you. It is Sunday, January the 4th, 2026. And already we are midway through the first week of the new year. And it's a good opportunity to look at what we're hoping to accomplish in 2026 and how we've journeyed so far. Have you taken the time to make notes, etc., mental notes or physical ones, writing down your intentions for 2026? What is your plan to see them through? I am on day 231 of a personal note writing journey. For me, my note writing is, I would guess many people would call it a form of journaling, although I don't write at the end of the day what's happened throughout the day. These are my directions of what I need to work on within myself through the day, or something that I'm working through over a period of time. Or if I've been working through something and I'm not all the way done with it, I need to look at it from different angles. I write notes so that I can know what I need to be focusing on as I move forward. So it's Sunday, and Sundays are the day that I review what's happened the week before in my note writing, and for me just to see where I'm going, and possibly should I visit with these a little bit longer in the new week. What do my notes need to be for follow-up as I move forward? So day 231, I summarize my notes for each day, just to keep me on track, and these are the notes for the past week. So on day 225, which was last Monday, which was obviously a few days after Christmas, and I was still wrapping up my thoughts about Christmas. So day 225 was Christmas contrasts, the striking difference to what we may think about it. Is it a peaceful, cute and cozy day, or what is the reality? Is it an evidence of war, conflict and enemies? Find and know your peace. And that goes back to the original Christmas, where obviously Jesus was born in a manger. We are not commanded to hold the day as a religious holiday. It's a traditional experience. You make the decision what's right for you. However, the first Christmas, the birth of Jesus, was not all peaceful. There was a star that appeared, as we know, and then Herod had all the babies killed because he knew the king had been born. So that is the contrast. What do we expect for ourselves in Christmas? Do we expect what movies and media have allowed us to expect for Christmas, where everything's supposed to be sweet, movie-like, everybody gets along? Or is it the reality that people are going to be around and not everybody gets along, but you make the most of it? So what is the contrast in your Christmas, and what are you looking forward to as you consider even the end of 2026 and what you want that Christmas to look like? Day 226, what are the core values to focus on when considering a new beginning? Now that was me thinking, well, I'm already on day 226. January 1st is coming up. It's a good time to think about what were the values I had when I started this on day one, and what are those values that I'm keeping threaded through each day, which are the core foundational functioning standpoints that I have for my life. So what are the core values to focus on when considering a new beginning? Your foundational values, your principles, your morality, your ethics, and that long-term vision. What is leading you, and what are you listening to? What is around you to encourage you? Examine your abilities and capabilities, reality of your community, how will you carry out your plan, and the practicalities of doing that. And then I also challenged myself to consider engaging others who can support you as well, friends. When you are going through change, who are you supporting? Who are you encouraging along the way? Who are you learning from, and who can learn from you? Try new things. Venture out there and be a blessing, as well as when you're a blessing to others, you are blessed in return. And then I had James 4, verse 14 and 15, which I referred myself to, and that will be in the show notes For day 226, and then also Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. And we need to know that we can plan our day, plan ahead, but God sometimes, you may know, if you've lived a bit, as I have, life can change on a dime. And my goodness, my life, that has happened to a few times. Sometimes, even now, I still don't understand why. However, the experiences I've had of knowing God's presence in my life, supporting me and encouraging me to keep going and trusting in Him. Hard fought for trust, friends. I will admit that has been a far greater blessing. That doesn't mean because I've hard fought for it yesterday, and yesterday, not literally yesterday, I'm referring to time past, doesn't mean that that same victory will be with me tomorrow. And as I progress through my notes, I will say His mercies are new every morning. He says that, and that is true. His mercy will be there for me tomorrow morning to trust in Him again. And then on day 227, my note of instruction: no regrets to the wrapping up of 2025. Fuel the future with hope and prayer. And then I referred to Isaiah 43:18 and 19, Philippians 3:13, 14, Ephesians 4:22, 23, and 2 Corinthians 5:17. All down in the show notes for that particular day. Day 228, a whole new you. Fill your life with, and my little note has ... What matters most? That's the most important thing. Fill your life with what matters most. You have life ahead of you, not just January 1st, but each day. Let's get busy living. Day 229, choose your path and life direction of your life and live it out. Choose to honor God, choose sound theology, choose obedience, choose truth, practical truth. And again, I always like to mention when I use that word truth, there's a difference between your feelings and your emotions, which are changeable according to the facts and the realities of a situation, circumstance. Our opinions, our views, our feelings and our emotions need to be brought into check, and we need to assess those facts carefully, which we are responding to. If you are looking at those facts, the truth of those facts askew, that needs to change so that you can grow and mature, and those feelings, emotions, hardships within you can change accordingly. Another thing we need to do is to choose to do and live God's will for you. Do not rely on the old you with your habits. Choose rightly. And another day to reflect on, day number 230. Faithfulness can only be expected when we live according to the rules, and that is what Psalm 119 verse 30 refers to, which I wrote out on the whiteboard. So faithfulness can only be experienced when we live according to the rules, as I said. Our lives evidence our understanding of what is true and real about what we believe. How you live your life, your manner of life, is the evidence of your core value system, of that foundation. Now, I did reference Proverbs 24:3 and 4, and it's on my metal magnet board. Through skillful and godly wisdom is a house, a life, a home, a family built, and by understanding it is established on a sound and good foundation, and by knowledge the rooms, every area, every recess, the deepest parts of a life, yours and mine, friends, a home, a family, are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. That's how deeply we can grow change into our lives. Again, our lives are evident. Our lives evidence our understanding of what is true and real about what we believe. If we don't know the rules, we can't live them. If you do not know the rules which God has given us, if we are not setting His rules before us, you cannot live in faithfulness to Him. It's impossible, because what is that faith built and established on? Nothing. It's your interpretation of what you think He is about rather than what He is. If you're not spending time in the Word, you don't know who he is and what he is, no matter what some preacher or teacher or friend or mentor is telling you. If you don't have your Bible open to see if what they are saying is true, it is not his rules that are set before you. It's somebody else's understanding of it. Friends, the biggest mistake you can make is just listen blindly to other people. Even what I'm saying, please check the scripture verses. I want you to do that. I encourage you to do that. I have them there for a reason, because everything I say is based on one thing, that foundation, which is all important to the functioning of my life. I have chosen the way, and chosen is established. In selection, firm, your position is firm, set, placed. You have a balanced, weighed, considered view that you have made equal because it's so stable in your mindset. And those are the rules, the judgments, the verdict, and the ordinances which you understand are from God. When you know that, you can be faithful, because he can only, friends, God can only be faithful to his word, to his ordinances, his verdicts, his judgments. If you don't know them and somebody else is telling you something different, it's not going to happen. He can't be faithful to what you think he says. He can only be faithful to what he has said. So the way is the walk, the road, the direction. What is your 2026 going to look like? I explained that yesterday, where the way, everything that I have written in blue and green around the text, around the verse, is what I've got from the original language. So the way is your walk on the road, your mode of action. How are you moving along the road? Have you strung your bow tightly so that when you release it, that arrow that is propelled forward with full force, full velocity, let go to hit the mark? Do you know the rules sufficiently that God can be faithful in guiding you to let that bow release and the direction of your life hit the mark that you're hoping for in 2026? Friends, I sure do hope that's my reality. As I was chatting with a friend of mine today, I speak with her every week, and I was saying, with the circumstances of my life, where it's at, and the reality which she knows and I know all too well. We have been friends for 40 years, and we have been through highs and lows, good and bad, of life together, and we speak, as I said, once a week. I did say to her today, with my circumstances, if the success, I hope, is achieved through my sharing and what I do right and how I grow that in 2026 meets with any success, what a testimony that will be. It can't be done out of my own will. It can only be done if God blesses it. That's even adding to what I said to her. So friends, until tomorrow, which will be day 232, I'm looking forward to moving ahead. Take care and God bless, and we will talk again. Bye-bye for now.